Today I'm going to read you the story called The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. This goes with our growth mindset lessons about what we do when we make mistakes and what mistakes do for us. And this book is by Mark Pett and Gary Rubenstein. The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. Adjust the camera real quick. There we go. For Beatrice Bottomwell, Friday began like any other day. She matched her socks, and of course she put her shoes on their proper feet. She remembered to feed her hamster. Humbert, his favorite food, broccoli. When she made a sandwich for her brother Carl's lunch, she used exactly the same amount of peanut butter as jelly. So perfect PB&J. When she stepped outside to greet her fans, she didn't forget to say good morning and thank you. They asked if she'd made her bed. She had. They asked if she forgot to do her math homework. Nope. What about tonight's talent show, they asked. I'm ready, said Beatrice with a smile. After all, her juggling act had won 3 years in a row. She's a very responsible girl, too. Most people in town didn't even know Beatrice's name. They just called her the girl who never made mistakes, because for as long as anyone could remember, she never did. Perfect tower, following all the rules with her helmet, perfect juggler. Unlike Beatrice, Carl made lots of mistakes. He ate his crayons and drew with his green beans. Ew. He danced with his hands and played the piano with his feet. Carl loved to make mistakes. They're very different, brother and sister. At school, Beatrice was on a cooking team with her two best friends, Millie and Sarah. To make their giant rhubarb muffins, they needed 4 eggs. Beatrice went to the refrigerator and carefully chose the biggest, eggiest eggs she could find. But on the way back, her leg slipped from under her. The eggs went flying. Beatrice was about to make her first mistake. Gonna be a messy one. But she didn't. Oh, say, that was close, thought Beatrice. And then her friend, sorry, Beatrice, I dropped a piece of rhubarb. Oh, engine it, Illy. She can't say all her letters because her mouth is stuffed with the egg she caught. For the rest of the school day, Beatrice could not stop thinking about her almost mistake. She's so busy thinking she's not even having fun. On her way home from school, Beatrice watched Millie and Sarah ice skating in the park. Come join us, said Millie. It's fun, said Sarah. Beatrice watched them slip and slide on the frozen pond. Millie and Sarah laughed as they wobbled on the ice. No thanks, said Beatrice. At supper, Beatrice barely touched her food. Is everything all right, kiddo? Asked her father. I'm worried I'll mess up tonight, said Beatrice, and everyone will be watching. Worry? You don't make mistakes, he said with a smile. Beatrice smiled too. Look at Carl using his toes to feed himself. That's a pretty good talent. After supper, Beatrice got ready for the talent show. First, she woke Humbert from his nap. Next, she got the salt shaker from the kitchen table. Finally, she filled a balloon with water. The school auditorium was packed. Beatrice felt her stomach jumping inside of her. She's starting to get nervous about her talent show. Beatrice waited for her juggling music to begin. That's her! That's a girl who never makes mistakes, said a woman. Oh, we know she'll be perfect, said a man. So Beatrice feels a lot of pressure because everyone always thinks she needs to be perfect. Poor Beatrice. When the music started, she tossed Humbert into the air. Next, she added the salt shaker, and finally the water balloon. Man, her poor hamster's getting juggled. Beatrice didn't miss a beat. The crowd clapped with delight, but Beatrice noticed something odd about the salt shaker. The specks falling out of it were not white. Uh-oh, first problem. Achoo! Went Humbert. Humbert was so surprised by the sneeze that he grabbed the water balloon with his claws. Kablooey! Humbert, pieces of water balloon, and the pepper rained down on top of Beatrice. So instead of the salt shaker, she had the pepper shaker. For the first time in as long as anyone could remember, Beatrice made a mistake, and it was a big one. Look at her all washed up, balloon in her hair, hamster on her head. The music stopped. Beatrice didn't know what to do. Cry? Run off stage? The crowd sat stunned. They couldn't believe that the girl who never makes mistakes made a mistake. Beatrice looked at Humbert. He looked back at her. His hamster fur was soaked and speckled with bits of balloon. Beatrice let out a giggle. The giggle grew into a chuckle, and the chuckle became a laugh. Then people in the crowd looked at each other and then back at Beatrice. They began to giggle, then chuckle, then finally roar with laughter. Beatrice and the audience laughed until they couldn't remember why they were laughing. That night, Beatrice slept better than she ever had. The pressure's off her. She learned that making a mistake isn't the end of the world. In the morning, no fans greeted Beatrice. When she got dressed, Beatrice, for no reason at all, put a polka dot sock on one foot and a plaid sock on the other. She's learning it's okay not to be perfect. Beatrice and Carl made sandwiches. This time they put the peanut butter and jelly on the outside. They called it an inside-out PB&J. Lunch was messy and delicious. I bet that was really messy. Later, Beatrice found Millie and Sarah skating in the park. They fell a lot and laughed. She's having so much more fun now. She doesn't have to be perfect. Now people no longer call her the girl who never made mistakes, never makes mistakes. They just call her Beatrice. Oh, so that's a fun story on how we can learn from our mistakes and learn that mistakes aren't the end of the world, that they make us fun. And today's in your journal entry, I want you to get out your journal and write about when you made a mistake and what you did. Did you cry? Did you get upset? Were you nervous, or did it make you laugh? Mrs. Mahoney makes a lot of mistakes, but I've learned that it's okay. Just keep going, and mistakes happen. It's part of being a human. So good luck writing in your journal today about what mistakes you have made or what accidents you have dealt with in your life.